Okay.
get the ball rolling.
Live? Okay. I'll pull the agenda back up. Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Calendar. So we will start, call budget meeting to order and start with Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'm gonna give Jay a call. We'll call him in.
Alright, this morning we have Dan and Joe on the phone and Jay coming in.
Hey Jay, I got you on.
Okay.
We've already started the meeting here.
Perfect.
Any amendments to the agenda or any changes?
I don't have any. No. Any changes to the amendment or agenda? Dan or Joe?
Not here. One for me.
Okay. I'll make a motion then to approve the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. Any opposed? Say nay. Nope.
Nope.
Okay, agenda is good. And moving on to public comments. Anything submitted?
I don't have any submittals.
Sir, one member in the audience. Okay,
Nope.
no public comment.
No public comment?
So moving right through to the review of the proposed budget. I believe just about everything should be similar to what we had in the June 10. The only thing I noticed was just on the general fund, non-departmental, which a reallocation of things. So that instead of showing the marijuana tax at $850,000, which is rollover funds, we did just the $85,000, which is more of the annual, right?
Correct, and the rollover funds were moved into that unassigned fund balance.
I see that. So the unassigned balance went from 1.4 million to the 3.5 million, which is basically an increase in allocated interest, an increase in that Title III of about 40,000. Now, the only question I had was, that's changing that DAS from the 1.1 million to 1,000, and did that?
That was an error, so it was noticed, and so it's actually it's 11. We did 1,100, but it's not 1.1 million dollars. If you look, there was two $1.1 million dollars.
Yeah.
So that was an error, so that's why we increased the non-departmental thing, so it covered it.
Okay. So then, if that was an error, so somehow we gained 2 million on the unassigned fund balance, which I know 800,000 roughly came from the marijuana tax.
Yeah.
And where'd that?
When we prepared that budget and when Lisa and Eric were looking at it, no one actually, we found out, went in and checked what that unassigned fund balance was. They had just carried over the same number from the previous year. So Nick looked at it and totaled everything up, and it's what, 3.4.
Okay.
What was that last part? It was when you totaled it up. You said
It was like 3.5.
$3.4 million.
Yeah.
So what happened is, if you look at that, there was 1.1, and there was an error made. So it's actually, we did 1,100, but it's going to be a little bit more than that, but it wasn't accurate at all. So it's my fault. So we had to fix it.
No. But aside from, because that caught my attention on the first go around that we're going to get 3.3 and basically timber monies. So it's closer to 1.1 each from Tilt and ONC.
Correct.
And then you're saying that, so that unassigned balance, in addition to moving some of the marijuana tax money into that, it's also just basically a more accurate view of what was actually being rolled over.
I don't think anyone had looked at that rollover in like 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
And we just left it where it
That
was.
1.4 was the
Correct.
kind of a placeholder.
I dove into it on Tuesday. That's why it canceled the meeting, because we just like it wasn't right. So we had
I
to.
think there's 2 years of
There's two-
marijuana
yes,
tax
2 weeks.
money in there that was not rolled over.
It's not rolled
A
over.
couple
That's the
of
whole other
them.
thing that goes into the rollover balances, is we're trying to, it's hard to explain, but if you look at our general ledgers, the last couple of years, there'll be, let's just say, marijuana tax, let's say it's $100,000 in there. Well, on June 1st every year, it goes to zero, because there hasn't been finance directors rolling over balances. So what we have to do is go in And this is part of the next project after the budget, is moving all these balances over, but it's pretty much for every line item. It hasn't been done correctly for a couple of years.
Mhm.
That's our next project after the budget, is to bring all the balances over, so we'll know, it'll be in our system more accurately. If that makes sense.
Well, the 3.5 is our more
3.4.
accurate number of rollover.
We went back to, what, 2020? So, but it hasn't been, it hasn't been done that far back, but it gives us a better idea of what's there. It's like, what was the other thing I looked at? The marijuana tax, and then, there's another item. Who's current? There's a lot, it's just, that's our next project, is the audit and rolling over all these balances, because they have not been done.
So just to clarify, it's 3.5,
3.4.
3.4 associated with rollover for marijuana.
No.
Okay,
Marijuana is a whole other thing.
okay.
It's every line item pretty much needs to be
Okay.
rolled over for the last couple of years.
And I mean, just like there's 2 or if not more, 2 or 3 years of marijuana tax money, there's also 2 or 3 years of allocated interest.
Allocated
and
interest, there's just a lot of work that hasn't been done by previous people that needs to be done after this budget. And that's the one thing I'm focused on, in the next year, 2 years, is getting everything caught up, because it's been such a disaster for the last few years. I mean, not to be blunt, but if you look at it, if you look at our general ledgers, everything goes to zero the last couple of years. So we literally have to take all the numbers that we had, add them up manually to get that number. So the next project is rolling over the balances, and it's very frustrating, put it that way, because it's going to be a lot of work, but it'll get done. And it goes on the point where Commissioner Trost says is that we have to figure out where everything's at, and all the departments that come to us, like, we have this rollover balance, but we don't know what it is. Well, we can tell what it is, but it has to be just done in our system. Like, no money's missing, it just has to be done. Not go to zero every financial year, manually add them up. That makes sense.
I understand the explanation. I don't understand the management practice that led to it, but go ahead, it's
What do
okay.
you mean that? Oh, like them doing it? Yeah. The management practice was a joke, to be honest about it, but it'll get fixed.
I think that is, it's one of the pieces the budget committee, I think, has been requesting for the last few years, is what you're referring to. We want to see ending balance,
Yep.
money in, money out, and to actually see, are we driving ourselves into a hole, or are we actually breaking even on the year? Or
I think, as far as that concerned, we're not going into a hole. We're last year or two, we've been very lean, the staff, and very conscious of what we're spending money on. As far as like going into a hole, we're not, in my opinion, we're not going into a hole. It's just a matter of knowing what we have for the last couple of years, and we know, but adding up manually is it's ridiculous, let's be real. So to get it brought up, and then every department will actually see, because, well, what do we have? We think we have this. Well, I can tell you what we have, but going through these line items, that's what Eric and Leaper helped us with next, is rolling over balances. But the other thing is, they haven't been audited numbers the last couple of years, but that's a whole other thing, but we actually can see what they are, so we'll have a really good estimate. That makes it more comforting, but it's there. It's just.
And I just a general comment on this. It kind of goes back to one of my early on concerns. As we reallocate these, the unassigned balances grow to $3.5 million, and it's all getting used in this year's, right? So it doesn't. So then next year, do we find ourselves behind again as COLAs come up again? And
I think we're gonna find other monies from digging deeper.
A lot of that is being used also to fund the admin services department. 2 things with that. One, in previous years, the admin services department hasn't required, I want to say 20 to 25%, total bottom line of the contributions that it's receiving. So it usually comes in about 80% of what's budgeted. And also,
Went down.
admin?
No, something else.
The 2.9 that's gonna go to admin is gonna be offset by, the allocation to admin from the non-general funded departments. Right now, general fund is absorbing all the cost of the whole admin services department. That is not how it's supposed to work. Eric and Leaf and Nick and I did not have time to really get it to where it needed to be. But it probably will be, I want to say, about 30 to 40% less of a requirement on the general fund once you factor in the contributions by the non.
When road department, planning department, self-sustained funds
So it's
begin
right.
making their contributions
Yeah.
towards administrative fees.
So,
And I mean, still, it's not, like, it's not going to spend all of it, but it's going to come down.
Yeah.
Can I step in for a second?
Go ahead, Jay.
So I just want to say thank you, because the efforts being made to create the most transparent and accurate budget that we, at least that I've had presented, has been obviously very painstaking. And one thing I will say, Nick, is that there will always be a rollover balance. Historically, every year there's a rollover balance due to, unfilled positions and things of that nature. Because I think there has been a typically a pretty standard effort to be very conservative with our expected revenue and very so that essentially we don't put ourselves in that hole where everything is gone in a year. But I will say it is very refreshing to see all of the work that has been put in, because I know all this work has been going in on the front end, and next year we'll probably, we'll see something that's very, very smooth and get this process started much earlier in the year. But I want to thank those guys for all the work they put in to making this essentially the most transparent and accurate budget we have had in front of us for a really long time.
Thank you, guys.
Indeed.
It's a lot of work for sure. We're getting there.
And we couldn't be here if you hadn't have done all those hours and all that work. Thank you very much. You've certainly helped me get my head around a lot of stuff, so.
Before we move to any votes, Dan or Joe, any questions on any of the revisions or budget in general?
Not for me. No, I don't think I have anything further. Thank you.
Okay. Any comment, anything from Pat?
No.
Do I move to approve or push this forward to a vote to approve budget?
I could do that. Is there a particular motion that you need us to read for
To
this?
recommend the proposed budget as provided today.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the proposed budget as recommended by today, June 18th, 2026.
Second.
Yeah. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Okay, good to.
Good.
Motion passes. So I guess, do we need to publicly schedule the meeting for adoption by the Board of Commissioners?
We'll have to do a special meeting.
30th.
29th or 30th should be fine. Let me see.
That's Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah, I could do the 30th in the afternoon.
I'll be here.
So will I.
All day is clear on the 30th, whenever.
Hey, Jay, you want to do 1 p.m. on the 30th?
Sure.
Okay, 1:30 on the 30th then. We'll do special meeting,
It's a budget hearing.
budget hearing.
Perfect.
Okay,
Okay.
we will do that. And I think we're good, Nick.
So budget hearing scheduled for June 30th at 1:30 p.m.
1 p.m.
Oh, 1 p.m. Okay, sorry. At 1 p.m. I don't think we have anything else, so we're good to adjourn.
Perfect.
That's it.
All right.
Gavel.
Thanks, Jay.